let's take a look at some of the particle systems that were used in the Panda scene. So there's these particles over here, which you can see if I'm just gonna scrub through my timeline. You can see some particles over here, you can see some particles over here, and also you can see some coming out from this one right here. So pretty much these over here, these two, this one and this one, are using what is called a curve flow. So let's take a look at that, and let's take a look at some other particles too. So I'm just making a new scene right now, and let's say if I have 200 frames right over here. Let's just go and display our grid again right over here just by clicking on that button. And what I'm going to do is, for the curve flow, I'm simply going to go to my front view right now and just going to make a simple curve. So let's say something like so. I'm back in my perspective view, and right now I'm going to go under Dynamics over here, and under Dynamics I'm going to go to Effects, Curve Flow. So let's say click Create Curve Flow, and you can see right now it's automatically got something. So if I go back, if I just undo for a second, and if I go back to my Create Curve Flow options, you can see I'm pretty much taking, even if I reset the settings, I'm pretty much taking all the defaults, number of control segments at 5, subsegments at 4, and so on. So I'll just say create right now, and what it does is, this is really a beautiful tool. It does a lot of housework for you. So if I go to my window outliner, you can see that if I move this over here, you can see that there's something called flow, a group node, and if I open that, you can see there's a particle, there's an emitter, and then there's control objects. There's a whole bunch of things that have happened. If I hold down Shift and open this, you can see that everything over here has been taken care of. A lot of things have been automatically generated for us with one click. It's a great tool. So if I simply open the control objects over here, and if I open circles, there's something called flow scalable circles. So in that case, I can select each circle and I can just scale it right there to control the flow. And if I just hit play right now, you can see that these particles right here are flowing. So you can also control the particles, the type of the particles. So if I just go to Control A with the particles selected, opens the attribute editor, I can open the flow particle shape node. And if I go on top, right now they're displayed at points. I can have them as spheres, so everything will be displayed as spheres. Then you can click on this button over here, current render type. So I can take down the size of the spheres right now. I can also display as multi-streak. And then I can click on the current render type button again, and it gives me options for the multi-streaks, the line width, as you can see right over there. Then I have the multi-count, multi-radius, and so on. I can also have just sprites or blobby surface and so on. So that's basically your shape of your particle. You can also have some emitter attributes right over here. But most importantly, if I go to the flow underscore particle, and if I open this button over here, which is called the extra attributes, let's go down over here. And let's actually go to the outliner and select that node again. So let's go to Window, Outliner, Flow. I'll go to Control A, and I open the extra attributes right here. Now you can see that I can say display all circles, so it'll display a whole bunch of circles for me. And you can see where I scaled it down right over here. The flow scalable circles, wherever I scale it down. Let's see if I scale it down right here too, and if I go to the first frame and play, you can see right now they're respecting that circle scale right there. So if I again go back to flow, and if I open the extra attributes section, which is right now already open, you can see that right over here I have something called lifespan. So if I turn the lifespan to 1, and now if I rewind and play it, you can see there's fewer particles right there. So I can go back to 5 in this case, and let's just go to the first frame and play. I can also have display all circles, display thickness. So you can see that clearly it's showing me the thickness kind of tapered over here and kind of big over here. So lots of things you can do over here. You can also change the position of these circles. So let's say if I wanted to cram more particles over here, I can have local position 4. And I'm holding down control and just with my left mouse button. So I can have this one over here. I can have this one over here. So you'll see what will happen right at the end. So you'll have the particles come, and there's nothing, and then there's more particles cramming over here. So really, really a nice tool, but the most important thing is to know how to play around with these attributes. So don't forget that I selected the main flow node in the outliner, and I opened the extra attributes. It's kind of hidden. So you have to open the extra attributes, and that's where you'll find a whole bunch of options over here. And then the particles itself, you can select the particles right over here, go to Control A, Attribute Editor, and you can have the particle shape where I could change the type of the particle, and whatever particle you select over here, if you click on this button, it'll give you attributes for that particular particle type. So right now I can just change the point size in this one. And then you have certain other emitter attributes too, so what kind of emitter it is. So in most cases you'll probably find yourself dealing a lot with the particle shape node and also the flow object over there in the outliner, and then you'll go to the extra attributes and edit some attributes there. So I'll show you another example of the other particle in the next movie.